Paulo, how much of an impact do you think the Rashada, Florida situation with Miami's recruiting in the portal, given that Miami seems to be buttoned up with their NIL?
I was hoping against hope that someone was going to ask me about this. I'm not even, it's almost 8 o'clock. I do need to go have dinner. So I'm not going to go too long on this one. But so just to set the stage before I even really respond, Jaden Rashada, 4-star borderline 5-star quarterback in the 23 recruiting class, was committed to Miami and then apparently bought up off of his commitment by the University of Florida. And they reneged on all of the finances from that. And he ended up going to Arizona State and, got injured there. He has since transferred to Georgia and is now suing Billy Napier, the University of Florida coach, individually and personally named, as well as the university, the athletic department, the collective, all these things, saying, and it's one thing when you talk about like recruiting pitches and whatnot. You can tell that he has retained counsel because Jaden Rashada through his lawyer is saying, not that he was lied to, not that this was just, he said, she said, saying that Billy Napier personally, the University of Florida and their collectively, intentionally defrauded him of 13.9 or point whatever $million. That whole NIL thing, the story on The Athletic and everywhere else that, oh my God, this kid had a $13 million NIL deal, and then like Florida decided not to pay it, and they're da-da-da-da-da. He said, hey, that's your right in Providence to decide not to pay me, but now I'm going to sue you for defrauding me. So part of the story, and I read all of it, goes, Rashada was committed to Miami, paid $150,000 through NIL, through Life Wallet and John Ruiz. Billy Napier then goes in home with Jaden Rashada and his father Harlan, and says, in so many words, we want you at the University of Florida, and I will commit to you now that we will deliver $1 million if and when you sign with us on signing day. So leave that commitment to Miami, come to Florida. We were going to give you $1 million now, and that is in the guise of this 13.95 or whatever it is $1 million contract. And with that, he said, look, even if you got 150 from Miami's collective, we'll give you $150,000 to repay to John Ruiz. Now, if you're thinking about that, wait, so you're going to give me $150,000 to give to somebody else who is giving me $150,000. So like they're getting $150,000 back, but like I'm keeping $150,000, but you're facilitating the repayment. So like you're winning on both sides. You get to keep your $150. We'll give you $150 to give to them, pay you $1 million when you sign, and ratify this 13 point whatever $1 million contract. Understandably, Jaden Rashada says, sold. Absolutely. Give me that. And so he's like, okay, cool. I have no fiduciary connection to a Life Wallet anymore. I've repaid the $150,000. I'm going to sign with the University of Florida. I fully expect everything. And then none of what Billy Napier is purported to have said actually came to pass. Hence, what has led us to the spot where Jaden Rashada, a current player at the University of Georgia, is suing the coach at the University of Florida. And Jaden Rashada, in his portal recruitment, reportedly told Kirby Smart about this months ago and said, hey, I'm working on a lawsuit. I'm going to sue them. And Kirby Smart said, cool, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Bring your ass. Let's go. Go Dogs. Right? So that's to lay the stage on, or set the stage on where we are. In terms of Miami comes out smelling like a rose. We follow every single like letter and intent of the law with NIL. We meet our financial obligations without fail, always. You have not heard a player say, and we've heard this about plenty of other teams, plenty of other schools, plenty of other collectives. Oh, I didn't get my money and they promised me and we had a contract and I didn't. You never hear that about Miami, right? So yes, Paulo, Miami, I do believe has NIL buttoned up. Like what we say, like our word is our bond, what is on those contracts, what has been committed to these players is paid. Now, there have probably been some guys, Henry Parrish, who have left looking for more money because they might, think themselves at a higher tax bracket in terms of NIL than maybe their play precipitates. But hey, you're able to think the world of yourself. But nowhere will you find someone who says that Mario Cristobal personally defrauded them of, 8 figures. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So, like, that is a ready-made negative recruitment for every single player across the board that University of Florida is going to go after, that Miami's also going to recruit. Hey, I don't even need to tell you. I'm going to give you this. Well, I was going to say article, but like kids don't read articles. I'm going to give you this infographic about the situation that's alleged. Because, hey, again, this other player at another school says that their coach defrauded him of generational money. Like, it's a thing, and it's going to have an impact on the University of Florida because, like, their recruiting and their collective thing, shambles for sure. And this is the thing that you have to answer. You ever seen that commercial with the guy who's like interviewing for a job and they're going to give him the job and then they bring up his Google results and like all this negative stuff? He's like, oh, that's so wrong. And this is not wrong. I don't believe this is wrong, because we've been hearing it for so long. But now this is your top Google result. So this is the thing. Hey, coach, I hear you about coming to Alachua County and being a Gator and Gator bait and da-da-da-da-da. There's a current college player who said that you defrauded him of 8 figures. And you want me to send my son there? And you're sitting here making these or having conversations about NIL and compensation and whatnot. I think that we need to drill down on this really quickly. I think that I would love to stop talking and just hear your side of things. And yeah, you just tell me about how we got here and where we stand. Because every player is going to need that, and their parents are going to need it, because like the money of the bagman game and everything. If you thought that it only went to the players and like never affected the families, come on, bro. Come on, please. Like there have been plenty of people who've gotten jobs. Robert Kimdiche's dad was a doctor, I believe, and then he got a job at the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Hello? You know what I mean? Sony Michelle's mom was a receptionist at American Heritage. That's how he got free tuition. And all of a sudden, there's a new receptionist position at the athletic department at the University of Georgia when Sony Michelle goes up there. Excuse me? You know what I mean? Like, if you think it's just a player, expand your worldview. But yeah, anything that is a negative to the University of Florida could potentially be a positive for the University of Miami. Now, it's the way in which it is used and how it affects the mentalities of some players. But in just broad strokes, I'll say, definitely a negative to Florida. And if it's a negative, if it's hurting our enemy, it has to be helping us. Now, I think it can help Georgia, who recruits against Florida for a bunch of players, especially in the state. It can probably, maybe help Florida State and Mike Norvell get going in a different direction in terms of high school recruiting, which Lord knows they need. It can help Miami. It can help LSU. It can help Tennessee. These are all teams that they are rivals with and teams that they recruit against routinely. So, yeah, broad strokes, bad for Florida, good for Miami, and hilarious. A buddy of mine from college at the U, Dirty Bird, he sent it to the chat and he said, oh, yep, so this is cool. Jaden Rashada is suing Billy Napier in the University of Florida. And Dirty Bird is a lawyer himself. And I said, oh my God, did you bury the lead? Are you the attorney of record in this? And like, he was like, that would have been like the most legendary burying of the lead ever. I am not the attorney of record, but yeah. But it literally made my day the other day. Like, I couldn't believe it. It is hysterical. And yeah, I mean, hey, I will tap dance on their grave in Alachua County anytime possible. But a current player suing the coach of another team as the primary number one name defendant. You can't make it up. I'm loving it.
Has there ever been a coach who was more of a dead man walking, foot out the door, than Billy Napier based on his 2 seasons, now this, and one of the most ridiculously brutal schedules that he's facing this year?
I mean, there's been very few. Very few, if any. It was not maybe the same collection of things, but I grew up in Michigan, Michigan man, or Michigan fan. I'm not a Michigan man because I went to Miami, but like a Brady Hoke, like a Rich Rodriguez at the end of their time at Michigan, like it was very clear that like that, Lane Kiffin got left on the runway. You know what I mean? Like there were some things, but like heading
But where you
into
could
a
see
season,
it 6 months in advance.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, seeing it this far in advance and being like, I mean, it's one thing when like you don't even know that you're in danger. You have what is it called? The sword of Damocles, the sword that's hanging by a thread over your head and you're unaware of it. Like look that up. It's, Greek mythology. You're welcome. But like, yeah, so like, I can be happy go lucky and not know that I'm in danger. But like, yeah, we all see this coming. I don't think that he's going to make it till Halloween because their game, I think their 6th game is on October the 30th. If I go to Miami's schedule this year, FB schedules, I click on their schedule, close that pop-up. Miami, Samford, Texas A&M at Mississippi State, bye week September 28th, UCF at Tennessee, and then Kentucky on homecoming October 19th. Like, maybe, but if he makes it to Halloween, buddy, you
Final
Georgia
5
the next week. Like, I mean, honestly, like, does he even make it to the Final 5? I mean, the Final 5, Georgia at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss at Florida State. RIP just killed the club. I mean, like, maybe you hang the losses on this guy because you know that he's going to go out, but like, whew, buddy, rough times ahead. And also, my God, Miami, if you guys are not working 35 hours a day, because I swear, oh God, I'm not even going to say what I was going to. It's 1-0 on August 31st. It can be nothing else because if it's it has to be that. I'm not even going to say. I'm not even going to think it. I'm not going to say the contrary to that. But yeah, August 31st, Miami Hurricanes 1-0.
I will only hint the contrary because you brought it up, and it would be 2016 all over for Miami because of a particular team that they lost to that had a ridiculously bad record.
Right, exactly. That would be replacing the Notre Dame 4-8. Yeah, but I mean, it has to be that. So it'll be very interesting. But yeah, man, never trust a lizard. They are slippery. So says Falconer TRX. Fair point. Fair point. Lots of double entendres and triple entendres in today's show. You guys have been on it with the wordplay. I appreciate you guys, and I see you.